Welcome to the Coffee and Daydreaming Podcast, the podcast where dreams come alive and productivity gets a dose of caffeine. I'm Amy, your BFF, encouraging you to live your dreams on this journey of self healing, self love, being creative, getting things done, and leveling up. Mm. Grab your favorite cup of coffee or tea, decaf if you feel like it, and let's jump right into it. Today's topic is going to be about abundance. And if you're like against manifesting, don't worry. This is still based in reality. I've learned that there are two truths. There's you could either look at the helpful thought or the unhelpful thought. And I'm learning finally as an adult that it is way more helpful to see the abundance in things. Or what's another word for abundance? I feel like that word, hold on, abundance synonym. Because yeah, that word it's just associated with fortune. Ooh, I like fortune because fortune to me reminds me of destiny and wealth, like in a healthy way. Fortune, like fortunate. That there we go, guys. The theme is fortune. Yes, fortunate. Fortune. I love what a great word, fortune. Anyway, yes, it is way more helpful. I'm learning as I get older that it's more helpful to see how you are fortunate instead of unfortunate. Now, this, it took me a lot of beating myself up. And I will tell you what actually helped with the clicking of it. Let me show you guys. You guys are probably so sick of me hear me brag about this Oprah article. This article on Oprah Living. But so when I was going over my New Year's resolutions and all that, this article popped up on Oprah Daily by Julia D. Ganji, PhD, about the surprising neuroscience of keeping resolutions. And pretty much what it says is so the brain works on a pattern, like it's on a program, and a lot of times it's working on the pattern from the past and instead of the present and the future. So we have to, so her solution was because 80% or something like that, please forgive me if I misparaphrase this article, but 80% of resolutions fail the third week of January. So the solution is think about your resolutions from last year and why they failed and what emotion was behind that. So I did mine, and my goals last year were to get my own one-bedroom apartment in West Hollywood because I had roommates and to have a successful. I was hoping to find a good partner, a good, a really dedicated time to dating last year, and I was thinking about why did they not progress in the ways that I hoped. And it was startling because I was like, it was all money related. I was so stressed about money. I was like this the whole time. My heart my hand was heart clenched over my heart. I was like, I'm so scared. I don't feel safe. If I don't feel secure with money, my fight or flight is whatever. And the cost of living in Los Angeles, I worked full time, but still the cost of living in Los Angeles, just something's got to be done. Anyway, I'm not even going to get started on that. That's a whole other conversation about affordable, how important it is to have affordable housing. However, and the used car market was off the rails. Anyway, I guess realistically, I should have chose between realistically I shouldn't have bought a car, put it that way. And I should have took the bus, but then the bus will it would take me 2 hours to get from Burbank to Los Feliz or Los Feliz, whatever you say. And it wipes you out taking the bus. I've done it. My first 3 years living in Los Angeles, I didn't have a car, and it was great, but it was funny, like, when I was, like, 20, a lot of my choices were a lot more, I don't wanna say intelligent, but wiser than as I got older because I was smart. I remember looking for my apartment when I was 20, I Googled that it was by Trader Joe's, the Comedy Store, and what else? There were 3 things. I made sure my living situation, I was walking distance from it. And I actually did exactly as I worked on the Sunset Strip, and it was so easy to perform comedy because there's a lot of great open mics in West Hollywood. And yeah, I got along just fine. And perhaps my living situation, I should have lived where I worked, so I didn't have to get a car. I'm not even gonna digress, but my point is, when you're on a budget, you gotta be a little realistic. And I think times it's like leap in the net will appear, and sometimes it doesn't appear, and that's okay. It's all a learning lesson, and that's a gift too. Anyway, because I was so stressed about security and money that it affected everything, relationships, my living situation, just in very dire. If I never want to be in that situation again. I learned, you think about, where did that actual fear come from, that whole money fear reality? But where did that, like, why do I always have this money fear? And I trace it back all the way to when I was little, growing up yelling about money. And I got a job at age 11, and I was paid $3 an hour. An 11-year-old should not feel anxious about money to where they get a job at age 11 to help contribute. Go play, you're 11. But the main thing was I was paid $3 an hour, which is the minimum wage of 1979. And I remembered knowing at age 11, oh yeah, they could pay me less. I'm 11. And that little thought, they could pay me less, because it applied in a lot of other stuff. My point is, that's a lie. The lie that you are worth less because you're not perfect. The truth is, you are worthy by just by being born, and you deserve to live a comfortable life. Everybody deserves that. And my point is using the helpful thought of finding the how you're fortunate, thinking, seeing how you're fortunate instead of how you're unfortunate. That has been so helpful, and it's a lot more relaxing. So, like, worrying about money, it's not relaxing. It's scary in, circumstances that aren't ideal, in addition of, like, freaking out and not feeling safe and queasy and scared. That's not helping. That's not helping. You gotta relax. Easier said than done. But my point is, I think because I was so like this the whole last year, and there were a lot of external variables that were not ideal, that were, it felt like out of my control at the time. But to feel like this on top of all the external things did not help. Perhaps I could have been sitting on a winning hand, and maybe I didn't even see it because I was so like this. I'm scared. I'm on eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich I till my paycheck drops. Like, that's not a way to live. Like, declining, hanging out with friends because you gotta save money. I remember my friend had his band was in town. I had to pretend I couldn't, something came up because I was too embarrassed to be like, "Hey, I need the gas to get to work." And um, yeah, like, no, that's not a way to live. That is not a way to live. So let's get smarter, see the abundance. See, we're not going to use abundance today. We're not. We're not. Because anybody watching this who doesn't believe in manifesting, they're going to get annoyed. I know. I love the word abundance. I want this to be applicable to everybody. There is such a truth in seeing how we are fortunate instead of unfortunate. Let's jump in really quick, okay, to Dreamer's Delight, clear the palate, and then we'll get into coffee break confessions. Dreamer's Delight, everybody. So, Michael Jordan, Jim Carrey, Abraham Lincoln. So many greats use visualization to achieve their goals, acting as if. So let's do it right now. Close your eyes and about think about that you're exactly where you want to be in your career. Okay. 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 What do you look like? Who are you with? What city are you in? Take a moment. You are there. What's your posture like? Hmm. Now, what is preventing you from becoming this person? Hmm. What do you need to change about yourself to become this person? Okay. Very good. All right, guys. So take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale. Oh, that was, it's always so delicious. I love doing those visualization exercises. So, before we get into coffee break confessions, I want to share with you guys some exciting news. Got a website, coffeeanddaydreaming.com. Check it out. We have Dream Up, which is the 30-day mindset challenge. These are tool mindset principles that I personally have used to help myself. It's just 2 to 3 minutes a day. Little, the words of Richard Dreyfuss from What About Bob? Baby steps. It is baby steps. The goal of Dream Up is to implement the habit of thinking a helpful thought. So every day for 30 days comes with either a set of affirmations or a meditation or both. Okay. And this is to help work on your motivation and resilience. Okay. And then we have Dream Nudge, the goal setting workshop. I love setting goals. I love planning. I love all of the above. So, yeah, Dream Nudge, it's really for anybody with a dream in their heart who knows the pain of not working on it. Okay, and so this is step by step how to how to you're by the end of Dream Nudge, the goal setting workshop, you're going to have a 1 year plan broken down into quarter by quarter. Okay, and then once we get to the month, we're going to break it down by week, and then we're going to plan the day for 1 week. And then also a thing I'm excited about that I hope people are excited about too is accountability club. So once a week we'll meet live over Zoom. The time might change depending on how many people we get or what a convenient time is for everybody, but really to recap how everyone's goals went. And then we're going to take 20 minutes to plan out our week, our upcoming week. And then we're going to share a couple of milestones that we're hoping to hit. And then that way, the next week, we're going to check in. Hey, how was that? You know, working together, the power of community is big when you're working to achieve goals. So I'm excited for that. So check it out. And then also, if you're in the New York City area, I'm currently planning this all out. So I'm hoping to have live Dream Nudge goal setting parties. So yeah, if you're interested in that and you're in the New York City area, I will come to your event and host the goal setting party. All right, so that'll be a lot of fun. Just email copyanddaydreaming.com, and what's included in that is I'm going to bring the printed out pamphlet, workbook. So that way, if anybody doesn't finish the goal setting at the party, they can take it home and finish it at home. We're gonna have pen decorating, decorate pens, and then vision pages. It's like vision board, but for portability purpose, we're gonna do it on regular 8.5 by 11 printer paper. And then when we're done, we're going to tape together our goals, roll it up in a little pretty scroll with a little ribbon, and then so you can hang it up and visually see and then cross off your goals as you go along. So yeah, so that's exciting news about that. Just wanted to share with you that. Check it out, coffeeanddaydreaming.com. Let's go into coffee break confessions. Pour yourself another cup of coffee and let's spill the beans. We are sharing some epiphanies and anecdotes. I mentioned that the theme for this week is focusing on how we are fortunate. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Great book. Everybody recommends it. But it had a couple of interesting insights that I wanted to share. Just to give a few quotes. Okay. So in school, we learn that mistakes are bad and we are punished for making them. Yet, if you look at the way humans are designed to learn, we learn by making mistakes. We learn to walk by falling down. If we never fell down, we would never walk. So I just found that super interesting because that is true. So many of us have fear of failure, and that actually failing has truly been the only way I've grown. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Yeah, it's humiliating. But failing, that's where the growth is. He talks about how in a society where it's almost don't make a mistake. Duh. Like I remember in school, it'd be like if you did one thing wrong, it'd be like, ah, and it's oh god. And as an adult, it's like, whoa, it's okay. Honestly, I wish somebody told me like mess up more. Like you don't have to be perfect. Perfection for me just gave me an eating disorder, so no, it's not good. Forgive yourself, be gentle with yourself, and learn that failing is a part of life and growing. So I like that quote. And then winners are not afraid of losing, but losers are. Failure is a part of the process of success. People who avoid failure also avoid success. That's powerful right there. That is true. I'll say that again. Winners are not afraid of losing, but losers are. You ever notice that? You ever notice that? Like me, I'm like, let's play, let's have fun. But sometimes it's fun to be competitive. It's fun to be a little competitive. But yeah, so people who avoid failure also avoid success. How true is that? How true is that? There are many times when I've avoided doing something, putting myself out there because I was afraid of failing. And guess what? Like, for example, with prime example, with stand-up comedy, especially my early days, when I was like 19, I sit in the coffee shop and then I would look at the time when it'd be time to go to the open mic. I would get this sick feeling in my stomach. I'll be like, and I would just flake. I would flake out. I remember, yeah, I'd be at the coffee shop right next to the mic, and I just felt sick in my stomach because I thought my material was so bad. And maybe it was, but still, you gotta get up on stage. And when I was, like, 19 and I felt like I was wasting people's time. I was like, "Oh, I don't wanna" I was people pleaser and, "Oh, I don't wanna waste people time by having bad material." It's like, you gotta get up there. Because also it's once you have that fear, like the fear once you break that fear of, "Yo, it's cool to be embarrassed," then your writer's block dissolves a little bit. I found that true. The less you care, the less you get writer's block, in my opinion, or at least it's true for myself. So, anyway, I avoided failure, but I also avoided success. And I will say, a lot of people I saw at the mics in New York City successful. And I respect that. That's the hustle right there, is like getting up despite not having phenomenal material at first. No shade. No, that's part of the process. This is what I'm saying. That is the journey. Get up there no matter what. Okay. All right. So listen to this good quote. And mind you, like, I'm not going to share like it chapter by chapter. I know that's all out there. So I just wanted to share with you some phenomenal, impactful quotes from that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. But yeah, check it out, Rich Dad Poor Dad. So listen to this quote. I can't afford it shuts down your brain. It didn't have to think anymore. Besides, it also brings up sadness, a helplessness that leads to dependency and often depression. How, instead of saying, I can't afford it, say, how can I afford it? Because that opens up the brain. Okay. It forced it to think and search for the answers. It also opens up possibilities, excitement, and dreams, and created a stronger mind and dynamic spirit. Oh, that right there, that quote is just so great. So instead of saying, like, I can't afford it, like it does, I feel sad saying it. It does feel helpless. And ask yourself, how can I afford it? And you'll notice you're not lying to yourself. You're, it's true. Okay, how can I afford it? You're brainstorming the helpful thought. Think the helpful thought. Most people will fail to recognize that in life, it's not how much money you make, about how much money you keep. That's interesting. That is interesting. Because if you think about it, you could go on the rat race or whatever. You think about some people, they make more money and they still don't have enough. And it's about how much you keep. He talked about cash flow, and you have your assets, which is your income, and then your expenses. And it does make sense in the sense of like you want to avoid expenses. That reminds me, I've got to cancel a couple of subscriptions. Hope those quick quotes from Rich Dad Poor Dad were inspirational. I just want to sum up the theme of money and something that I have started to do. I've changed the phrase spending money to glittering money. I'm glittering money because it changes. I feel happy to do that. Oh, I'm glittering money to Discover card. I'm glittering money at the grocery store. Otherwise, used to be like, oh, I spend so much money at the grocery store, inflation, and I'm glittering money. I glittered so much money, guys. I glittered so much money at the grocery store. Can you believe $6 eggs? I glittered so much money. I glittered, yeah, the basics. Though I glittered so much money on the basics. Anyway, so yeah, and also another thing, I think another thing with the whole theme of feeling secure in general, secure in how fortunate we are is not rushing. Mm-mm, no, take your time. So yeah, I used to work the lunch shift in Murray Hill in New York City at a burrito place, and they had $3 margaritas. Okay, I worked lunch shift, and oh my goodness, people would come on their 30-minute lunch break, and they would be like, "Ah, I'm," they'd be like this. They'd be like, I'm on my 30-minute break. I want this and this. And meanwhile, I had other people, but the energy, like, I allowed it to affect me. I'd be like, yeah, sure, no problem. And mind you, they had a lot of modifications. Inputting the mods simply takes time. Realistically, it takes time to enter them in. So to come with limited time with a long list of mods, it's just not real. It's not a thing. And they come in for $3 margaritas. Sometimes I'd mess up their order accidentally because, like, when I'm in that state of like being rushed, you're gonna have human errors. I've been in Jersey too long, guys. Get my Jersey accent back. I feel like I think about times in my life where I've been rushed. It gets me all like this. No, we're secure now. We're secure. Okay? We are secure right now. Not going to be rushed. We're not going to be emotionally dysregulated because other people need something fast. No. Also, we're luxurious. We're living like a luxurious life, and luxury doesn't rush. You go to fine dining, they don't rush. Enjoy. You savior, guys. That is the theme too. We're going to savior our day with abundance and feeling fortunate. and security. We're not going to be rushed. We're going to savor. Okay. Unbothered. We can communicate and form a boundary with at the lunch shift. The lady, I could have formed a boundary and said, you know what? Not going to happen. The thing is, working in restaurants, some managers will get mad if you're like, if you, yeah, that's, no, no more bending over backwards. Okay. We're solid. No, we're not going to be rushed. I'm not going to get emotionally dysregulated. Okay. For that, we're not going to get wrinkles. Okay. Something bothers us. We'll deal with it and then on to the next because we got priorities now. Yeah, doesn't it feel good? All right, guys. Cheers to us being in our generous era. By us, that's another thing. I had to change my mentality of having money as greedy to, wow, I can help people with money. And I grew up, we're, we're working class in Jersey, and like my whole like program was like the route to get us the greed and that we got to win the lottery. And no, no, we're fine, fine. We're safe. We're safe. We make money work for us now. Money is a tool. Money is a tool. I never heard money is a tool. Like, what? How did I not hear that? Money absolutely is a tool. Congratulations. We're in our generous era. Yes. We're secure, unbothered. Yes. And with that, emotionally regulating, feeling secure, we'll be able to actually problem solve better, make conscious decisions. Have you ever made a decision when you're rushed and like freaking out? No, not good. That's how I bought my car last year. I was anxious, I was rushed, and no, gosh, my hair was like pulling out. No, no, guys, you're too pretty to rush. Okay, yeah, everything's, we got this. Doesn't it feel good? Ah, okay. Anyway, all right, guys. So avoid expenses and what was his thing? Yeah, we're gonna get assets and avoid expenses. Okay. Yeah. Here's one last quote. If you want to get rich, all you need to do is buy more income producing assets. I don't know if I wrote that quote down because I'm like, but you're telling us buy? No, that makes sense. Keep your liabilities and expenses low. Yeah, try doing that in New York City and LA, guys. No, I'm kidding. So the main beauty of this book was this whole changing your mind from I can't afford that to how can I afford that? I love that so much. Like I feel so empowered. How can I afford that? Yes. Woo. Okay, guys. All right. Now, moving on to brain boosting news. Yes, or neuro news. I'm a fan of the alliteration, guys. I'm a fan of the alliteration. Here we go. On Inc.com, a neuroscience-backed approach for leaders to maximize their team's performance. And this was from expert opinion by Juan M. Fernandez. He references Andrew Huberman on his podcast, Huberman Lab, that researchers took a group of kids and gave them all a set of problems to solve. Once they solved them, they gave kids praise. One group was praised for their intelligence. You're so smart. You're so talented. The other group was praised for their effort. You tried so hard. Later, they gave the group the same, pretty much the kids that were told, that were praised on their intelligence didn't perform as well as the ones that were praised on their effort. That actually, I'd love to parallel this right now to how can you apply that to your life? Okay. Think about your day to day. When you talk to yourself, okay, do you say, for example, I know today I was like being mean to myself. I was like, oh, you're not as productive as you, oh, blah, blah, blah. And it's, what if, now this isn't, that's not, that's like the opposite of praise, but still relevant. If I focus on my efforts, oh, yeah, you know what? All right, I'm low energy because that's okay. But my efforts, I still woke up, I still worked out. I am persistent despite having low energy. I felt better. That don't discount the positives. As a in CBT, the cognitive distortion is a lot of times people discount the positives of they only see what they did wrong instead of what they did right. So I like that, and I think I've actually been working on implementing this with even my little nieces. One went to share some snacks and with the other one, and I was like, "Wow, that was so generous of you." And instead of is that well, praise for the effort? Yeah, yeah, like acknowledging that instead of letting it go unseen. So I think that's a little different in the sense of don't let efforts go unseen. That might be a whole other thing. So scratch that. But in terms of how can you apply this article to yourself today? How can you so perhaps we could try affirmations in the sense of like our effort instead of I am smart and smarter. What if we were like, wow, I'm resilient and I get knocked down and I get knocked down and I get right back up. Something to think about. Moving on to our next neuro news. Here we go. Another article published in Inc.com. Neuroscience says one brainless habit improves memory, boosts creativity, and reduces stress. Neuroscience has uncovered the benefits of what was once dismissed as unproductive and a waste of time. So, this is from the expert opinion of Marcel Schwantes. I'm happy to relay, this made me very happy, another article showing how daydreaming is beneficial. I've always believed in daydreaming, and I feel like people are always like, people disrespect daydreaming, and there is a time to end daydreaming, absolutely. And with self discipline and using daydreaming as like a little reward for myself, it really does relax me. Okay. So it's not disassociate. People label daydreaming negatively, and of course, you can misuse it. However, there are benefits to it. So, daydreaming is often dismissed as unproductive, mind wandering distraction for unfocused workers mentally in la la land. That's the thing that ticks me off. Oh, you're in la la land. It's, you know what? I'm it's my way of coping and it does help me. So according to neuroscience, daydreaming activates the right side of your brain and opens up the gateway for more innovative thoughts and creative breakthroughs. For your left brain dominant and task oriented accountants, data analysts, and other techies, don't despair. Just let your daydreaming take over. Yay. Okay, cheers to that. It also proves memory benefits, problem solving benefits, and creative benefits, and mental health benefits. So, yeah, looking out that window is helpful. Anyway, guys, let's wrap this up with oh, wait, Dreamers Challenge. Dreamers Challenge, guys. Week's episode, the theme was self care is also on the external, it's not materialistic. And the Dreamers Challenge was to do one thing that you pampered yourself with. How did you guys do? Did you take time to pamper yourself? So I'll be honest, for me, self care is working on my goals. That is my ultimate self care. I'm relaxed doing it. And then yesterday, I was like, oh, I didn't I didn't do the external thing. Guess what I did? I did the external thing. Oh yeah, actually I did. So I got myself this fitted thing because I decided I'm gonna get into fashion and the fits. I had a guy friend who all of a sudden decided he got really into pant hemming. Yeah, I'm really into hemming now. I'm not even kidding. I was like, you look like $1,000,000. That looks awesome. And then I got my pants hemmed and it only costs $11 to get your pants hemmed. And anyway, I highly recommend getting your pants hemmed. So I am going to not spend money because I don't want self-care can easily go into the consumerism bucket. Spend, spend, which is A lot of the reason with being a woman, it's very expensive because ads are targeted at us and our insecurities. So be careful with that. But it is possible to up level your fashion game on a budget 100%. So yeah. So this was my self-care thing. Also, I treated myself to a little foot mask. A foot mask. I never thought about getting a foot mask. I saw that online. So yeah, I got that. And then I got a hair gloss for myself, which I'll do. And I got myself some nail shimmer. So it's all things that are like, I'm not going and spending money, getting a manicure. Like treating myself I'm going to do my own manicure while watching a show. Very relaxing. So for this week's Dreamer Challenge with the theme of feeling fortunate, okay, oh yeah, I wanted to do something. Anyway, every day, I want you to wake up counting 7 reasons why you are fortunate today. Okay? 7 reasons why you are fortunate. Let me know if you guys want to do the Dreamers Challenge. Every day, wake up, you say 7 reasons why I'm fortunate today is all my fingers, I have vision, I have food, the sun's out. Yeah, let me know how that goes. And now, moving on to closing daydreams. I want to take a moment and I want to take a moment and do some affirmations related to healing any money wounds that you may have had. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. I acknowledge and release any past financial wounds, allowing healing and abundance to flow into my life. I am deserving of financial well being and I release any guilt or shame associated with money. I forgive myself for any past financial mistakes and trust in my ability to make positive and wise financial decisions. I'm going to say that one again. I forgive myself for any past financial mistakes and trust in my to make positive and wise financial decisions. I choose to let go of fear and anxiety surrounding money, embracing a mindset of financial healing and empowerment. I am worthy of a healthy and prosperous relationship with money, and I am open to receiving the abundance that the universe has for me. I am open to receiving abundance and prosperity into my life. Money flows to me effortlessly and abundantly. I release any fear or doubt about my financial success. I am worthy of receiving unlimited wealth and prosperity. Ah! Oh, that was yummy. Thank you guys so much for watching the Coffee and Daydreaming podcast. I'm Amy. Subscribe to our Instagram at Coffee and Daydreaming, our TikTok, Coffee and Daydreaming underscore, our YouTube channel, Twitch for productivity co-work spaces. Also, reminder to check out www.com. Feel free to check out the courses Dream Up, the 30-day mindset challenge, and Dream Nudge, the goal setting workshop. You guys are awesome. Thank you again for watching, and please leave a positive review, click like and subscribe, and help the algorithm. You're awesome. Remember, with a cup full of coffee and a heart full of dreams, anything is possible. Bye, guys.